This is your First Alert Weather Breakdown, a deep dive into how weather works with meteorologist Evan Thomason.
Welcome on to the First Alert Weather Breakdown. I am meteorologist Evan Thomason, getting comfortable and still trying to get my setup in order. First of all, welcome on to the First Alert Weather Breakdown. Let me first welcome you. First and foremost, my name is Evan Thomason, meteorologist Evan Thomason, here at KSLA News 12. Now, you may be asking why I'm a minute late to the party. We usually start this right on the dot at 10:30 instead of 10:31, 10:32. And you're thinking, oh, no biggie, Evan. Well, I'm trying to get things still together here on the stream. Unfortunately, things that shouldn't be taking as long as what they have been. Let me just say that. I'm still trying to get everything together. Essentially, what is happening here behind the scenes is I am still trying to get a hold of my lovely weather graphics, just so you know. Yeah, so in the meantime, while I'm trying to get this still together, let me go over what I can go over here in the Arclatex. Let's get you kind of a basis of everything that we have going on here over the next couple of days. We have, first and foremost, we have the warm-up coming over the next couple of days. That starts this afternoon. We get highs back above 80 degrees in time for later on today. We do have temperatures potentially reaching 90 by Thursday and Friday. It's going to be bad. Bad hot. Especially, look, I'm just not a fan of the heat, especially showing up in April this early, all right? Honestly, yesterday was lovely. And this cool morning was kind of refreshing in a way, too. We're going to go back to some more mild mornings here starting by tomorrow, and that's going to continue into the weekend as well. And one thing I can go ahead and show you is that we do have rain coming for both days of the weekend. I can literally show you the last graphic that was used by my weather graphics. I literally just can't access them. So what that means essentially is that I can't change the graphics to any other graphic. So I will show you literally the last graphic that was touched on our weather computer, which was the Easter travel forecast. This is a look at your Easter weekend. Unfortunately, we're looking at storms for both days, Saturday and Sunday. Both days. 40% chance of storms on Saturday, mainly because most of these storms I'm expecting to be off to our north and west. I think these are rain chances. These are always rain chances locally in for Shreveport specifically. I am expecting the presence, of some storms in the Arclatex for areas like Texarkana, southwestern Arkansas, southeastern Oklahoma, and northeast Texas for Saturday. Sunday, widespread storms pretty much everywhere. Just in time, yes, unfortunately, for Easter Sunday. Now, there's a chance that these storms do give us a hint of severe weather as well. That was one of the graphics I was going to show you. And if I can get control of that, that would be great. But unfortunately, I can't do that, actually, at this time as of right now, although I'm trying to still kind of talk with y'all behind the scenes again. This is essentially what's going on is I don't have control of my graphics. The usual system that I use to control my graphics is down. So, again, I've just been talking over this graphic, which was the last thing that was shown on my weather graphic computer, which I, again, currently don't have access to. But at least it shows you that we do have storms coming Saturday and Sunday. Because, honestly, if there was one thing there was to tell you on this First Alert with a Breakdown podcast, it would be this. It would certainly be this. So, yeah, this is the whole spiel. We have lots of storms coming here for the weekend, unfortunately, just in time for the weekend. Next 3 days are looking lovely in terms of the skies. I know I've been talking about temperatures heating up over the next 3 days, but the conditions still stay pretty dry over the next 3 days. A little more cloud cover starts to build in for Thursday and Friday, and that kind of leads into that stormy activity that we're expecting here for the weekend. But overall, we're dry up until Saturday and Sunday. We could briefly dry things out the early part of next week, but very briefly. I'm expecting more stormy and wet weather to follow into next work week, too. So if you need to, get out and make the most of the conditions, the grounds while they are dry, please do so again. Because, it's going to be quite soaked, especially for the weekend and also heading into next week. It's going to be bad at times too, all right? Man. So honestly, this is rough behind the scenes. Again, I'm trying to get my weather graphics system again is down. I'm actually trying other ways to access the graphic systems, but that seems to not be working either. Again, I kind of give you a synopsis, a very quick overview of what the weather forecast is. At least I have the streams going on. The only thing that's not working is my graphic system, which is the main thing I need. At least I, can. At least the stream to KSLA.com is working. At least my YouTube stream is working. Just my graphic system, obviously, which is kind of the bare bones, I know, of why you come on here in the first look with a breakdown. That is unfortunately not working. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take, I know that was, first of all, that was a quick overview of what's happening over the next week or so. My hope is that I can get into more specifics when I can actually access the graphics. So I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a little more of a longer commercial break than normal, get that out of the way, and see is the, precise word here, if I can actually get the graphics up and loaded. If not, I'll let you know, first of all, number one, and then I'm going to go contact IT, and we'll get this figured out definitely by tomorrow. Sorry about today's episode a little bit, because a little, I wouldn't say off the hinges. Yeah, I think that's the best phrase to use. Anyways, I'm going to take a long break. Hopefully when I come back, I'll have access, but we'll see. We'll see. Yeah. Let's see what happens. Cross your fingers, all right? Definitely, if this isn't up by the end of the stream, which unfortunately might not be, I'll see what I can do, again, with IT behind the scenes after the stream, and we'll definitely get this figured out and fixed by tomorrow. I promise you that. And, again, we still have plenty of time. Again, 3 more dry days until we get to that wet weather here for the weekend on Saturday and Sunday. Again, we're expecting severe chances of storms here for both Saturday and Sunday. I'll give you more of a concise outlook and synopsis again at the very least when I do come back from this long commercial break. Hang tight and cross your fingers that these weather graphics will actually work. As I said, I'm going to try some things behind the scenes in this commercial break right now. Welcome back to the first Slur with a breakdown. All right, 5 seconds ago, quite literally. That's why the "we will be right back" screen was on your screen, maybe a little longer than normal coming back from a commercial break. But the point is, let me show you. Let me please. Thank you. Ta-da! I have full control of weather graphics. That is great. Just took some time. Also took some loading as well behind the scenes. So thankfully, again, believe it or not, the way I normally do this to pull up weather graphics is still completely not working. I did this a completely different way. Technically behind the scenes, that is running through, I guess, one more hoop than normal. It's a little more difficult to get to this kind of control behind the scenes, but we got it. We got it figured out. I got it figured out. Sorry again. As I said, I usually pop on the same time. The graphics load almost instantly when I click on a link here behind the scenes, and today it just did not want to load at all. Yeah. So, anyways, we got it fixed. Thank you for your patience very much. And now my synopsis forecast I can expand on that and go into a lot more specifics here in the first Slur weather breakdown. So essentially, we're going to go over this full forecast, and then I'll pretty much say goodbye afterward. Tomorrow, we have a more substantial exclusive content to look forward to. You can get a preview of that after this forecast. All right, so beautiful outlook on Bossier and Shreveport there for you. Temperatures already getting pretty warm. 70 in Shreveport, 71 for Texarkana. And believe it or not, we started off with temperatures this morning in the 40s. Ooh. You had to chill walking out. For those of you out around 6, 7 in the morning this morning, now they've reached almost 11 a.m. It is, 70 degrees already. And the fact that we've already reached that step means we are going to continue to climb here into this afternoon. So we did really want to stress on the past tense, did have a brief cool down here with us this morning. But this high pressure is moving slowly but surely eastward, and now we're starting to pick up winds out of the south, which is essentially warming us up to our peak, which is mainly going to be Thursday and Friday here in the Arklatex. Not only that, we're expecting moisture content to start to increase in front of a low pressure system that originally is going to come from the Pacific Ocean in from areas of Texas and Oklahoma, mainly for Friday and Saturday. But then that's going to move in late Saturday into the Easter weekend, into the bulk of Sunday here for the Arklatex. We're picking up storms out of the Gulf of Mexico, or picking up moisture out of the Gulf of Mexico, and eventually that's going to trigger onto some storms, especially as that low pressure system gets closer into the region. Not only do we have cloud cover for Easter, we have storms, lightning, thunderstorms. You get the point. I just wanted to show you that icon that my face was hiding there for a little bit. So that's the headlines essentially here over the next couple of days. Let's get to the short term of what's happening short term before we get into the specifics about all the storms obviously attacking your Easter weekend. So 83 here for the day today in Shreveport, 82 for Texarkana. Then tomorrow morning, not nearly as chilly, only starting off in the 60s here for you out the door here for your Thursday. So pretty much temperatures similar to that of Monday and Tuesday. Back in store for Thursday. So this morning, pretty much just a outlier in the full grand scheme of things here in the Arklatex. Then tomorrow afternoon, we are back with highs in the upper 80s. Just so you know, these high temperatures are pretty much your high temperatures not only for Thursday, but also for Friday. High temperatures for Friday pretty much remain around that same level as well. I would not be surprised to see somebody reaching 90 degrees for either Thursday or Friday afternoon, or both. Why not? All right, futuretrack. This is the short term. What is happening up until the weekend, so to speak. So for the rest of today, it's nothing but abundant sunshine. You might see a brief passing cloud or two, but overall, we keep ourselves mainly sunny. And then I want to go ahead and take a step back there on that futuretrack. That did not deceive you. You did see a few little specks of some green there, indicating maybe the slightest little drizzle here for tomorrow morning, with a little bit of cloud cover returning back into the Arklatex for the start of your Thursday. So overall, that just means it's going to feel very muggy for you out the door, on top of those mild temperatures for the start of your Thursday. Then Thursday afternoon, like the previous couple days, most of that cloud cover fades away. But then late on Thursday, you'll see this happen again, where Friday morning's going to look to start off pretty cloudy again. It's going to be cloudy in the overnight hours, but it's going to be cloudy in the morning. But Unlike Thursday, Friday's cloud cover is going to look to hang around a little bit longer. I think we'll get still several peaks of sunshine in throughout Friday, but you see that cloud cover overall remains through a good portion of that day. And even then, look late on Friday. You might even catch a scrape of a rain shower in areas of McCurtain County there for your late Friday night activities, although most of this wet weather for Friday is going to be well into the bulk of Oklahoma and Texas, away from the Arklatex. And then the latest this short-term future track goes is early Saturday morning, and there you see a lot more threatening rain showers and storms targeting Saturday, and most of that's going to look to hit again northeast Texas, southeastern Oklahoma, and southwestern Arkansas. As I said, this is as far as our future track goes out. So if you're headed to Dallas-Fort Worth metro area here for the weekend, it's not looking good, and that starts as early as Friday night, and that's likely in through Saturday morning again for you there. All right, so let's get into our next weather maker. Before we show you our long-term future track and show you a possibility of what could happen this weekend, because the reason why I say possibility is I personally don't like weather models right now. And what I mean by that is there is lots of uncertainty. Well, Evan, there's usually a good amount of uncertainty with things this far out. Well, 4 to 5 days out, I want more of a narrow line of possibilities. Like, Evan, is it going to rain Easter morning or Easter night? That's usually what happens, say, 4 to 5 days down the road. You get more of a consensus on and hone in on like a 24-hour period and say, okay, and I can tell you, okay, guys, it should rain anytime between, say, Friday night and Saturday morning. This is just a hypothetical forecast. This is not the real forecast. But the point of me telling you this is 4 to 5 days out, I should be able to tell you a 24-hour period of when rain could come into the region. So that when I get to like 1 to 2 days out, then I can tell you, oh, we're expecting scattered storms on Friday night and just a scrape of rain maybe for Saturday morning. You get the point. The timing narrows down a lot more closer to the time. 4 to 5 days out, though, we still pretty much narrow the 24-hour period. 24 to maybe 36-hour period of when rain could happen. This system is all over the place. It is all over the place. There are some weather models that are showing us scattered storms in Shreveport on Saturday night. There are some that hold it off until Monday first thing in the morning. So you tell me when the scattered storms are coming on in, because what this does mean with, again, storms coming in to specifically Shreveport as early as Saturday night, but as late as Monday morning, what this tells me is there is lots of uncertainty. That third bullet point, that's what I want to get to here in the Arklatex. And honestly, it's annoying me. It is annoying me. So if it's annoying me, I know it's unfortunately going to annoy you, because I know you're trying to plan for your Easter festivities for the weekend. It's like, Evan, well, when exactly are we getting the rain coming in? When can I plan my Easter egg hunt? When do I, need to get outside to boil the crawfish? When should I plan on that? Well, all I can tell you is that storms are possible all weekend. That is definitely going to happen. Storms are going to happen this weekend. Also watching for severe weather. I believe that is likely but not certain, I will say. Severe weather I'm still a little iffy on. I can't really tell you specific threats that I'm watching out for. If anything, this is looking more like more of a little tiny flooding scenario and little chance of hail. As of right now, I'm not seeing too much tornadic possibility with this yet, but that could easily change. I don't want to get too much into the specific of threats because it's still 4 to 5 days out, and normally we can narrow threats only like 2 to 3 days out to show you, okay, this is going to be a tornado maker potentially, or this is going to be a flash flooding threat, that kind of thing. We get to that again closer to the weekend. We'll get to that in more of the Friday's podcast, definitely by then. All right, so again, what we do know, storms are definitely going to happen this weekend. All right, the timing is obviously the big question mark. Severe storms, I'd say that's likely, but that's not certain. All right, but bear with me, and we'll catch up onto that in a future forecast a little later on in this work week. All right, so let's take a look at one. Let me follow my words carefully here. Let's take a look at one of the possibilities of the system coming into the Arklatex here for the weekend. one of the possibilities, because again, weather models are all over the place. Some of them don't even have us getting rain on Easter, others having us getting swamped with rain on Easter. You get the point. Let's show what this one says. This is our usually handy-dandy long-range future track that goes beyond the next 3 days. So again, all the way through the end of the work week, you're looking fine. Then I'm kind of going slowly by this, and this is, again, something we could do just on the podcast. I can go very slow with this future track in store. I would not, let me also stress, I would not focus on what's the forecast for my town. 4 to 5 days out, I definitely cannot do that for you. I can only do generic areas, which I will mention here in just a little bit. But long-range future. So, anyways, let's go over the long-range future track. Let's just get to it. All right, Friday night. That's when storms start to form. That's when you actually start to see this line of storms forming. It looks like around Missouri, Oklahoma, and areas of central Texas. That'll form Friday night into Saturday morning. If you saw on our short-term future track, some of these storms even creep into on the edge of the Arklatex by late Friday into early Saturday morning. This future track doesn't even touch the storms into northeast Texas, southeastern Oklahoma, and southwestern Arkansas until Saturday night, which I would say is a little more likely at this time. But remember how I said other future tracks have literal, like, complete rain showers across the entire Arklatex for Saturday night? Well, this future track only has it for a little corner of our region, northeast Texas, southeastern Oklahoma, and southwestern Arkansas. Just barely catching on to some severe storms catching in for late Saturday into maybe overnight into Sunday morning. Then you get into Sunday, and this is what the system looks like coming on through. It almost like it looks like it loses its severe juice into the Arklatex. So we still get the rain in midday for Sunday, but then it almost fizzles away, quite frankly, before more chances of storms form late on Sunday. Looks like in the southern edge of the region, and some of that could even continue into Monday morning before finally Monday afternoon we start to dry things out. But you saw a good chunk of Monday on this future track, specifically in areas like Natchitoches could be swamped with rain all day Monday. Lots of possibilities. That's what I'm trying to get at. I will say, if this future track were true, especially for Easter, I think we'd take it. I think we'd take it because the bulk of the rain and the bulk of the severe weather threat especially looks to dodge our region. But Storm Prediction Center, like myself, want to cover all of our bases because, again, there's still a lot of possibilities. There's a lot of future tracks out there that are showing a lot of different things. And if they're showing a lot of different things, again, just to reiterate, I can't tell you one specific thing that is going to happen. All we know is that storms are likely to happen this weekend, and they are likely to hold a severe risk with them. For Saturday, most of that threat is in the north and west portion of the Arklatex. Again, northeast Texas, southeastern Oklahoma, and southwestern Arkansas. For Sunday, the threat moves everywhere, especially northwest Louisiana that don't really have much of a chance to get those storms as much on Saturday. So that's how the severe weather risk is looking between the two of those days. Overall, just the presence of rain in the Arklatex on both days. It could even go into Monday, as we showed you with that long-range future track, especially in Natchitoches. Just stay weather aware with us on the podcast. I know this isn't entirely the answer you want to hear, but to be fair, again, I couldn't go into this explanation too much into detail on the news because it's kind of, it's lengthy. It's a little more lengthy, so to speak. So again, we're watching out for storms, both Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. That's the 3 days I'd watch out for these severe storms coming on in. Unfortunately, the middle of those days is unfortunately Easter, which means Easter is most likely the day that is going to be hitting us the most. The most widespread storms out of all are going to be hitting us on Sunday, especially if you're in Shreveport. These are the rain chances locally that we have for Shreveport. I think there's a greater chance for rain for Monday morning compared to the bulk of Monday, which is what that 20% rain chance is mainly there for, such as Monday afternoon, so to speak. Again, presence of storms here, just in time for the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. What I do know is next 3 days are completely dry. That is what I do know, except for maybe the slimmest chance of a drizzle on tomorrow morning. Highs 83 up to 88 by Friday. Highs in the mid to upper 80s here for Thursday and Friday, and they slightly dip back down just in time for the Easter Sunday festivities, which unfortunately will give us a good bit of rain. One other thing I did not show you was the rainfall total map. I believe most of the Arctic is now picking up a solid inch of rain heading into the span between Saturday and Tuesday. About an inch of rain, pretty much widespread across the Arctic. Greater rain totals are up towards southeastern Oklahoma and northeastern Texas. Almost 2 inches of rain up towards those areas expected out of the next 7 days. I'm expecting more storms, by the way, another round of severe scattered storms to hit somewhere around the middle to late part of next week. So watch out for that as well after Easter. All right, that's a full look at your forecast. No questions on YouTube. Cool. All right, I got to head out. But anyways, thanks for joining the first weather breakdown. Sorry about the delay at the very beginning. Again, I had no clue what happened with the weather graphics there. I will have to figure that out for tomorrow. Again, I'll contact IT. I'm just glad I was able to access them. And we'll see what happens. See what happens tomorrow. I know, to be fair, I know a different way now. I know how to access it. I'm going to come here a little more prepared, a little more, get here a little more prepared and get everything set definitely in time. Sorry about the delay again earlier on the stream. But anyways, have a great rest of your day. Stay weather aware about this coming weekend. And yeah, I will talk to you all later. See you tomorrow, 10:30. A Met Chat will be on then. Be prepared for that. That'll be cool. But anyways, have a great rest of your day. Enjoy your Wednesday. And I'll talk to you later. Peace.